Welcome. Good evening, families of Snyder. My name is Tom Everett, and I am the principal here at Snyder Middle School. I would like to thank you for joining us virtually this evening to celebrate the 2021 National Junior Honor Society Induction. At this time, I would like to present the advisors for our National Junior Honor Society chapter, Mr. Tom Hoffman and Ms. Kate Lees.
Thank you, and again, on behalf of the entire faculty and staff here at Snyder Middle School, I would like to extend a warm welcome as we honor tonight's inductees. I would like to begin by examining the purpose of being here this evening. NJHS is an organization which creates an enthusiasm for scholarship, stimulates a desire to render service, promotes leadership, develops character, and encourages citizenship. Therefore, the 5 pillars of the National Junior Honor Society, as represented by the 5 unlit candles on the stage, are scholarship, leadership, service, character, and citizenship.
Tonight, we celebrate the 15th induction of the Snyder chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. We began this chapter to honor and develop well-rounded students, to affect our school's climate and culture in a positive way, to guide students into leadership and service roles, which will not only benefit the students at Snyder, but our community as well, to make the public aware of the academic excellence that exists at our school, and to acquaint them with students who rank among the best in the nation. Lastly, we wish to provide positive role models for our students at Snyder, and the 19 individuals being inducted tonight represent these role models. At this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce Dr. Lee, our district superintendent, who will share some words with us this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Lees, Mr. Hoffman, Mr. Llewell, and Dr. Everett. It's always a pleasure to be here at Snyder Middle School. No more so than now, to be here with this group of leaders, citizens, scholars, and contributors in person at hopefully the end of this pandemic. In consideration of the pandemic and all you have accomplished, displayed it, I'd like to offer up to the National Junior Honor Society another candle. Perseverance. You all are the epitome of perseverance. You've come tough, you stay strong, you remain committed, you continue to lead through the most challenging times that I can recall, and I'm a little bit older than you all. Not smarter, not braver, you've certainly proven that. So congratulations for all you've done, all you've accomplished, and I'm going to say all you will continue to accomplish, improving yourself beyond all doubt and any conditions that you can move, you can advance, you can continue to lead, and set a following and exemplary example for all. We, myself, the entire Board of School Directors, President Kim Rivera and Vice President Eric Price, who, by the way, is your Snyder School representative, are awfully proud of what you've accomplished. We're equally excited about what comes next in your respective academic career and the citizens of the National School District, Bucks County, a great region, Commonwealth, and country. So we feel good, we're proud of you, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Thank you.
We will now have the lighting of the 5 candles that represent the 5 pillars of NJHS. The candle of citizenship will be lit by Julia Lieben. The candle of citizenship represents the fundamental basis of good living, not only in school, but in all phases of life. In school, it is the good citizen who sets the example for others to follow and who builds up a high standard for the school. Through all walks of life, citizenship unconsciously becomes part of our speech, actions, and thoughts. The members of the National Junior Honor Society have been chosen partly because of their good citizenship in school.
Adriana Vargas will light this candle of scholarship. The flame of this candle signifies wisdom and high scholarship. First of the requirements for admission is scholarship. National Junior Honor Society members have inquiring minds, a capacity for hard work, and an eagerness for knowledge. The members have been chosen first of all because of their high scholastic standing and faithfulness to their studies.
The candle of service will be lit by Addison Bond. The flame of this candle is the flame of service. It means more than work. It is the striving and laboring for the benefit of others. There are various forms of service that a National Junior Honor Society may render. Service to one's school, service to one's home and family, service to one's community and country. The members of the National Junior Honor Society will constantly strive to put others before their own pleasure, help those who are less fortunate than themselves, and will serve in every possible way their school, community, and country.
Devin Bell will light the candle of scholarship. This flame of candle represents the purity of character, which seems to be the essence of life. The National Junior Honor Society recognizes the development of good character in the individual as supreme importance. The real student whose character is expressed through his personality works with a purpose. He scorns shame and pretense. He keeps his mind open and is wide awake for new ideas. The members of the National Junior Honor Society have been chosen because of their recognized quality of character.
The candle of leadership will be lit by Robert Wiley. The flame of this candle embodies leadership and growth. Those who dare to stand upon their own initiative are the leaders of life, but while leading, they must grow by listening to those who are superior, by heeding the advice of those who are wiser, and by reading and studying the words of those who are more learned. The price of leadership is sacrifice, willingness to yield to one's own personal interests for the interests of others, and a willingness to give up one's time and personal preferences for the sake of others.
We'd like to recognize the special educators who have assisted in developing the 5 characteristics in the inductees you see before you on stage this evening. These teachers served as mentors to our inductees and were personally invited by our students to witness this part of their educational journey, which they, along with family and friends, have helped to shape. The students were asked to write reasons why they selected their mentor. At this time, we would like to invite Carly Angelitis.
She taught me
Next, we would like to invite Devin Bell.
I believe I have, over the years, affected me differently. Wait. The teacher is an important person to have, as teachers are like second parents, and it is hard to find a good teacher that is willing to work with you. Ms. Whisker, my favorite teachers and teachers that are willing to work with me. She's taught me tremendously, inside and outside of the classroom, and I want to thank her for that. Ms. Whisker has believed in me since the first day of third grade, not only academically, but outside of school too. She has always encouraged me to do new things, even if it's out of my comfort zone. I will always remember when she said to me, when you're a professional soccer player, I better get a free jersey and get on the back of it. That has stuck with me all this way, and it will always be in the back of my head that if I worked hard enough, what she said could come to reality. It is hard to believe that I had such a great teacher that was so patient with me and helped me through many obstacles. It is the little things like that that make her different from other teachers. Thank you, Ms. Wisner, for being such an important mentor in my life. I hope that your future students will appreciate you as much as I do. Thank you for being the best teacher.
Next, we would like to invite Addison Bach to the stage.
I would like to thank Mrs. Lissard for being a huge inspiration to me and for being one of the biggest role models in my life. She has always pushed me past my limits and always made sure I was doing more than I thought I was able to. When I first entered fourth grade, I was scared to see what was to come, but just after a few weeks of getting to know who my new teacher was, there wasn't a day that passed where I wanted to stay home and not go to school. I know that being a teacher is hard, but Mrs. Lissard always came to school with a bright smile on her face and knew how to make my day. The love that she had for teaching made lessons so much more interesting because of all the fun stories she told during class. Mrs. Lissard taught us to write with a clear mind and to write everything truthfully. In class, we would write essays and stories continuously, but today I realized that she taught us everything, and I'll forever value all the work she put towards teaching us. Today, I would like to thank you, Mrs. Broussard, for never giving up on me, even when I was giving up on myself. Thank you for always believing in me and always being right by my side through everything. You've made a huge difference in my life and have been someone that I know I can count on if I ever need anything. I want you to know that everything you've taught me will always be appreciated, and I will never take it for granted. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication that you put towards your lessons. Everything you've done for me has made a huge impact in my life and will always be one of the best teachers out there and one of my favorites. Thank you so much for everything.
Next this evening, we would like to invite Hamish Chig.
Teachers have the most honoring positions in the world. Teachers not only have endless lesson plans to write, but they also have to deal with students studying in front of the wall for hours. Pressure from other officials, organizing their lives on assisting students all at the same time. Teaching is a hard job, especially being put into a new confusing environment with continued pause. The electronic studies are the shockingly great and incredibly generous teachers. I heavily think them, but I need to go to see. However, today I was going to give thanks specifically to Ms. Shook, my 8th grade writing teacher. Ms. Shook, I really appreciate your hard work and patience. Writing has always been my best subject, especially grammar. Thank you for taking the time to look over writing and correcting the grammar. I love your humor and inclusion of fun events that made writing across a period that I look forward to, especially with the small riddles that wrap everyone up in class. Thank you for being a teacher that has truly impacted my time this morning.
At this time, we would like to invite Darlene Element.
I am and I'll always be thankful to all of my teachers that had an important influence on my life. This evening I chose to invite Ms. Overcash, my 7th grade homeroom teacher, and the 7th and 8th grade technology and literacy teacher to tonight's NJHS Induction Ceremony. Before I moved to Miss Salem in 2019, I used to live in Palestine. I remember being excited but also nervous to move to a new country and begin at a new school. However, the kindness that Ms. Overcash showed made me feel welcomed and comfortable. She inspired me to be the best version of myself and guided me down the right path. Miss Overcash, I always looked forward to your classes because they were the most enjoyable. You always checked up on me and made sure everything was going well, and always helped me in my other classes. You are one of the most supportive, kind-hearted, and understanding teachers I've ever had. Your positivity and encouragement always brightened my day. Words could never express my gratitude and respect to you for truly caring and being there for me. Thank you for your guidance and friendship and for your patience throughout these past 2 years. It means the world to me.
And now we will invite Brooke Esposito.
A teacher is defined as a person whose job it is to teach students about certain subjects. I think some teachers, however, deserve a better definition than that. If I had to pick one teacher that is deserving of a better definition, it would be my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Walsh. The reason she deserves a better definition is because she did much more than just teach me about different subjects. She impacted me in other ways as well. She was a role model and someone I looked up to because she was always looking out for her students. Not only did she help me with my schoolwork, but she helped me if I was having a bad day or problems with my friends. She took the time to make sure I was doing my best academically and socially. I could tell she put a lot of effort into helping her students be successful and making sure they were happy to be at school. To me, an amazing teacher does much more than just teach her students. And today I would like to thank Mrs. Walsh for everything that she has done for all of her students, especially me.
Next this evening, we'd like to invite Haley Fisher.
I would like to recognize my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Siegel, this evening. Mr. Siegel always found a way to make each lesson interesting and fun in one way or another. He would make the lessons fun and interactive, which made more people want to learn. Mr. Siegel was also really helpful to me and talked to me when I looked upset or talked to me when I was all alone. I learned a lot from him that I still use from class to class today, such as the vocabulary words we learn. With having Mr. Siegel as my teacher, I improved a lot in learning paragraphs because of the things I remember him teaching us. He also taught us reading and kept the lessons fun, yet we still got the lesson done. Mr. Siegel cares about teaching a lot because of how much effort he puts into every lesson, with being so energetic and keeping everyone engaged during class. He really made my last year at Strubel really memorable, and I'm super lucky to have him as my teacher. Thank you, Mr. Siegel.
Next, Julia Leibig will be joining us.
Today I have chosen to recognize my 5th grade teacher, Ms. Hector. Ms. Hector is an amazing teacher and role model for all her students. She made a huge impact on me, not just as a student, but as a person also. Each day, she encouraged, inspired, and pushed me to do better in school. She never made class easy, and every day, she taught her students how to work for what we want. This helped me realize that I always need to work towards my goals. Ms. Hector is a kind, compassionate, and elegant person. She is always there to offer help to anyone, and is someone you can always talk to about any situation. When I got my card in the mail saying my 5th grade teacher was Ms. Hector, I'm not going to lie, I was quite nervous. She was one of the few teachers that I never talked to or knew from my brother and sister's experience at Valley. In the first week of school, she instantly became one of my favorite teachers in the building. She always made class interesting and kept me focused. During 5th grade, I enjoyed coming to school because of Ms. Hector. She is an amazing teacher and an even better person to be around. She spreads nothing but positivity, and she always gives outstanding advice to her students. I still remember twin day in 6th grade when I chose to twin with Ms. Hector. I still have the picture we took by the art room, and I am beyond grateful for the experience I had with her. Without the help and courage that she supplied me, I honestly wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you, Ms. Hector.
Next, Erin Linjinsky will be joining us on stage.
Today I would like to recognize Ms. Schiff, my homeroom and writing teacher this year. Despite having a challenging year given the pandemic and it being her first year teaching at Snyder, Ms. Schiff still managed to balance being outstanding writing teacher, track/field hockey coach, and just someone who can listen to her students. Before I stepped into her room, writing was never an enjoyment for me. However, with Ms. Schiff's personality and dedicated teaching skills, writing has become one of my favorite hobbies. When I first started in-person school, it was really hard to get through the day without it being awkward. But whenever I got to writing class, Ms. Schiff always made us feel welcome and accepted. One time when we all looked like we needed a break, Ms. Schiff said we could all go outside and learn for that day. She never failed to make sure our needs were met and we were all happy. I can say that truly Ms. Schiff has made my talkative and outgoing inside show throughout this year, and I'm glad that I can recognize her for doing so. Although this year was difficult to get through, Ms. Schiff has always put her students in front of her personal needs and never fails to make us laugh. And overall made a bad year of nothing into something memorable, and I can't thank her enough for that. Thank you, Ms. Schiff.
Next, Jasmine Menelese will be joining us.
The teacher I will be honoring is Mr. Siegel from Shreveport. I started school at Shreveport in 5th grade, not having been to one elementary grade before. As my writing teacher, Mr. Siegel was always helpful and great at teaching writing. His class would always be exciting and easy for me, as he would always find ways to make it interesting. Whether it be by fun videos to learn or just writing assignments that were appealing to me in 5th grade, writing would always be fun to learn. I was also lucky enough to have Mr. Siegel in 6th grade as well. The way he taught me fun and exciting lessons like playing bingo and watching even more fun videos was my favorite part. Thanks to the engaging way he taught writing, I was able to easily understand writing concepts, strategies, and feel confident in my writing. Mr. Siegel encouraged me to keep writing on the last day of 6th grade, and I will always remember when he told me I would be a good writer. Thank you, Mr. Siegel, for everything that you have done for me.
Next, Ashley Burns will be sharing her words.
The teacher I chose to recognize tonight is Mr. Backus, my 8th grade science teacher. Mr. Backus was one of the teachers that pushed me the farthest to succeed, and he changed the way I see science through his hands-on lessons, which gave me a better understanding of science this year. Even though this year was quite different because of COVID, I believe science class is a class I will never forget because of Mr. Backus and his engaging teaching. From the cool stories to the interesting activities and the laughs, this class has certainly had the biggest impact on my learning experience. Thank you, Mr. Backus, for making science class an enjoyable time during my 8th grade year.
Next, Jacob Quinlan will be joining us on stage.
A teacher that had a great impact on me has been Mr. Fleming from my 7th grade social studies class. Mr. Fleming has helped me incredibly academically and even more becoming a better person. Mr. Fleming always stays positive in every situation. He's always very excited and happy. Does not fail to boost the energy of the room he's in. Without a doubt, Mr. Fleming had taught me history, but he had also taught me to be a much more positive person. No matter how boring the subject, Mr. Fleming would always figure out how to make it fun. I still can't get the songs and videos from his class out of my head. You would think that learning about ancient Mesopotamia would be pretty dull, but songs like Wild Baby Praise River made the class pretty enjoyable. Thank you, Mr. Fleming, for making social studies a great class, and thank you for helping me grow.
Next up, we have Allison Swain.
The teacher that I will be recognizing tonight is Mr. Meyer, my library teacher from Valley Elementary School. Mr. Meyer would always show me short stories and poetry to start my love for writing and reading. He made library class a class that I always looked forward to. He always encouraged creativity and let me express myself through writing. Although many teachers have influenced me through my school year, his influence has stood out the most. So I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Meyer. Thank you for cheering me up, thank you for showing me great stories, and thank you for being a memorable and fun teacher.
Next this evening, we have Adriana Vargas.
Miss Roken was my sixth grade math teacher, and since having her in my class, I've yearned to become a teacher as well. Ms. Rogan helped me become a better person both inside and outside of the classroom. She not only taught me about ratios, geometry, and measurements, but she also taught me how to be a better person and to always be kind and always help others. I have many fond memories of being in Ms. Rogan's class. I remember sitting in the front of her classroom and answering her questions. Ms. Rogan had a ticket system to keep her students interested in her lessons. I will always remember when she would choose a winning ticket at the end of the week and I would earn a Jolly Rancher for participating in class. I always remember when we made menus for a project. I colored a picture of a cookie in purple, but I thought the color was brown. When I showed Ms. Rogan my purple cookie, she started to laugh, and I laughed too, because my purple cookie was really funny. I remember Ms. Rogan told me that she might keep it to show her new students next year. One last memory I want to share is from sixth grade graduation when I took a picture with Ms. Rogan, and she told me that if I ever needed help in math, that I could always ask her. I never forgot about that because that I meant a lot to me, and no other teacher ever said that to me. I want to thank Ms. Rogan for the impact she had on me learning math, and for that she really means a lot to me. She has impacted my life both inside and outside of the classroom. I thank you again, Ms. Rogan, for being the best teacher that I've ever had.
Next this evening, we have Dylan Waltz.
The teacher that I would like to recognize today is Mr. Taylor, my sixth grade homeroom and writing teacher from Valley Elementary School. There are many reasons why I chose to recognize Mr. Taylor as my mentor teacher. First, he always tries to relate to his students and always talk about stuff we like, such as sports and shoes. Another reason I decided to recognize Mr. Taylor is because he always made writing class fun. He chose interesting topics for us to write about and gave us a chance to voice our opinions on various topics. Not only that, but he was an amazing teacher. He taught me new ways to write and how to truly make my writing the best it could possibly be. Mr. Taylor is also someone who I could easily talk to, whether it be about something I wanted to get off my chest or if I wanted to speak with him after I did badly on a test. He was always there to keep me positive. Overall, Mr. Taylor is one of the best teachers I've ever had, and I remember him for a long time. Thank you, Mr. Taylor, for having such a great impact on my life.
Kimberly Lang is unable to be here this evening. We will share her letter. I want to take this opportunity to honor and thank one of my teachers, Ms. McDonald. Ms. McDonald also goes out of her way for her students. During my 7th grade year in homeroom, she would always make sure that I was sitting next to my friends when she planned new seating charts. Those small details comfort me. I will always remember that she sent me a happy birthday message on the morning of my birthday. That message had made my day, and I would like to thank Ms. McDonald for remembering my birthday. During her class, Ms. McDonald always takes care to explain math concepts in detail. When 8th grade started with Algebra 1, some of the math concepts were very hard for me, but the way Ms. McDonald teaches, it makes learning math easier. She is also very organized in the way she sets up her Schoology page. I always know where to go for assignments or information on something. This also helps me get organized on what assignments to complete. Overall, I want to thank Ms. McDonald for everything she has done during my years in 7th and 8th grade. It was a pleasure having her for a teacher both years. Next on stage, we have Andre Werner.
Today, the teacher who I want to recognize for helping me to where I am today is Ms. Dyer. Ms. Dyer was my favorite teacher who encouraged me to do well in science and to become a better person in general. Because Ms. Dyer made science class fun and interesting, I often participated in class and did really well because of her lesson. The experience in Ms. Dyer's class carried me to here to where I am today, because I love to speak out and ask questions that help me understand nature of science and how the science works around me. So Ms. Dyer, thank you so much. You changed me to become the person who I am today. And I can't thank you enough for the experience you gave me in elementary school.
Next on stage, we have Christopher White.
Today I want to thank Ms. Johnson for being my first teacher at Valley Elementary moved from Bensalem to Delaware, I was nervous about starting at a new school and adjusting to a new teacher. My kindergarten teacher encouraged us to be smarty for the party. She told us that it means no matter what, you are prepared to have fun while you work. When I met you, Ms. Johnson, you encouraged me to continue to be smarty for the party in your own way. You made first grade a fun and safe place to learn. I always remember the brain breaks and dancing to Cold Noodle. I want to take this time to thank you for having such a positive impact on my life and all my school education. Your teaching style set the tone for me in the way I viewed school. I started becoming more interested in my academics and doing well in school, and as I went to Valley Elementary and as I transitioned into Snyder Middle School, John Strachan states, to this end, the greatest asset of a school is the personality of a teacher. That is who you are, Ms. Johnson, because you embody the spirit you embody the same spirit of greatness. Thank you again, Ms. Johnson, for all that you have done for me. My experience in your classroom helped me develop into the person and the student that I am today.
And finally, we have Robert Wiley.
The teacher I've chosen to recognize is Mr. O'Malley, my 4th grade teacher at Valley Elementary School. When I first entered his room, I didn't like any aspect of school in any way. By the time I left his classroom at the end of the year, I was a bookworm who strongly cared about my academics. He taught me to make my learning enjoyable by choosing what to read and write about subjects I enjoyed. If I wasn't in his class, I doubt I would have cared about my education as much as I do now, which have resulted in me not being a member of the National Junior Honor Society. I will always remember what Mr. O'Malley taught me and the lasting impact he has on my education. So today I thank you, Mr. O'Malley, for being such an important teacher in my school career.
Mentors, we applaud you. You have made a significant difference in a child's life. It is our pleasure to introduce to you this evening Mr. Luella, our assistant principal, who will share some congratulatory remarks.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Ms. Leese, Mr. Hoffman, thank you for a few minutes of your time to allow me to speak. First, I want to say congratulations to the students being honored here tonight. You represent a very special and unique class of students at Snyder Middle School. All of your accomplishments inside and outside the classroom, especially in this most difficult and crazy school year, has earned you the privilege to be sitting here. The amazing young gentlemen and ladies sitting before us have demonstrated through their course of actions the 5 pillars necessary for this high standard of membership. This is the stepping stone to our Bensalem High School National Honor Society. While those being recognized make everybody so proud, you are not alone. Some others before you that have reached this unique status, you may have heard of some of these people. Troy Aikman, Jerome Bettis, Pat Zajac, comedian Tina Fey, former President Gerald Ford, Muppet creator Jim Henson, reporter Stone Phillips, Mr. Rogers, and Carrie Underwood. What is amazing about these people is that they are still demonstrating the 5 pillars of this prestigious club. Even those that are no longer with us still have an ongoing legacy keeping their citizenship and character relevant. As we watch the interactions of these students, the commonality that I see between the list of famous people and the students sitting here next to me is the humanity and kindness that each of you represent. But you didn't become part of this fabulous action alone. While this event is about our new inductees, there are people that have helped mold you to get to this point in the amazing teachers that each of you have recognized. Please don't ever forget that. And as I conclude, I'd like to say to the parents and guardians involved, your hard work, dedication, and sacrifices that you have made for your children have not gone unappreciated. You also need to be recognized. For without you, this extraordinary moment would not be possible for each of them. So thank you. And to all of our new inductees, thank you for your sacrifices as well. All successful people have to make decisions to forego the fun plans and even lose sleep from now and then in order to reach your goals. I'm extremely proud of all of your accomplishments. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn, for joining us this evening and for your inspiring words. And now, will the 2021 National Junior Honor Society inductees please stand for our candle lighting ceremony. NJHS inductees of the year 2021, raise your candles. I would like to share with you a poem by an author unknown. Hold high the torch, you did not light its glow, 'twas given you by other hands you know. 'Tis yours to keep it burning bright, yours to pass on when you need no more light. For there are other feet that we must guide, and other forms go marching by our side. Their eyes are watching every tear and smile, and efforts which we think not worth a while may be perhaps the very things they need, actions to which their souls will take most heed, so that in turn they'll hold it high and say, I saw another carry it these way. Inductees, please join together in reciting the NJHS pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Junior Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, citizenship, and character. On behalf of myself and Mr. Hoffman, along with the entire faculty and staff of Snyder Middle School, it is my honor and privilege to present to you our 2021 National Junior Honor Society members. You may blow out your candles and have a seat.
As each student's name is read, they will have their name entered in our chapter registry. They will then receive their certificate signifying that they are full members of the Snyder chapter of the National Junior Honor Society. Our first member, Carly Angelitis. Devin Bell. Addison Bach. Candice Chang. Dareen Elamad. Brooke Esposito. Haley Fisher. Julia Liebig, Aaron Lendinsky, Jasmine Manolese, Ashlyn Mers, Jacob Quinlan, Allison Swain, Adriana Vargas, Dylan Waltz, Kimberly Wang, Andre Werner, Christopher White, and Robert Wiley. Let us join in giving them a warm round of applause for this wonderful accomplishment. At this time, students, please give your parents and guardians a round of applause for all of their support through your educational career. Once again, on behalf of the entire faculty and staff of Snyder Middle School, congratulations. Thank you for joining us today at the 2021 induction of the National Junior Honor Society. Congratulations and good night.